Thank you for letting me know. I've been talking to myself. 420 is Monday? Oh, yeah. Hey, all right. That's tomorrow. Uh-oh, the sound is on my phone. There we go. So I don't like the way the vessel came out. The cool parts are on the bottom. It's stuffed so I have, it's keeping its shape while it dries. But I decided I don't like it. So we're doing it again. I'm getting it ready for tomorrow, and I decided to put the green leaves in as the decorations instead of the strings. I think this will work better. Yay! Well, the reason you couldn't hear before is because I did 420 and didn't notice that I didn't turn it over because I didn't play a song this time. So I just had it off and said, oh no, we don't need a song. It's the second time, and I don't know if anybody's going to even show up while I just do this. I had to finish this because it was like bugging me. But this is going to end up being something I give away, not to my best friend. It is cool. It's very silky. It's merino wool. Really, some of it is merino. It's very soft. No, this is Corriedale. No, that's really funny. It feels silky. But then again, it doesn't feel as silky as this. This is super silky compared to the Corriedale, I feel. You like it? Well, thank you. I'm not happy with it. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I wanted the black and the purple and the green to come up the sides more like flames. And yeah, this would have to lay on its side for you to enjoy that part of it. So I'll see tomorrow. Also, there's too much fabric on the bottom because I made it round, so there's excess fabric. So this time I'm going to make it with a flat bottom, and hopefully that'll help me make more of a base. I guess there are other ways to do that. I'm still learning about that. So far the vessels, they recommend, putting it over something or stuffing it. And like when I made the cozy for my bowl, which came in handy today, I had beans and a chicken sausage. I put it in a bowl, with my cozy, and it kept it hot until the last drop. So I'll do it tomorrow. You stay with that one? I got this. This is going to be for tomorrow. I think the second one is going to be even better. The shape will be better, and I'm going to put these little silky green leaves in it. I mean, think about it. I think it'll be really cool and better than this one. And it doesn't really matter how long it takes because this is all I want to do. I do have to make more paintings this week. I'm out of my paintings to send to Gloria. So I do need to do that. But it took all day to do this one. Well, not all day. It took this morning, and then I came back and rolled it around some more, and stuffed it. Yeah, felt vessels have a cool, there is a coolness about them. It's like, what the hell do you use them for? It's just one more thing to sit on the shelf, you know? Although you can put a plant in it. Fake plants, real plants. Well, the real plant would have to be in a pot. Yes, there will. It's coming out now. Did you see? Is that what made you say that? It's been cloudy and rainy all day. Cloudy and rainy all day. I like when it rains. And the deer and the antelope play. Yeah, this and the green, and this will just do, maybe it does need something. Okay, it's all going to be this with accents of this and this. Otherwise it's too bland. She painted her living room this color, periwinkle. So it has to be more than that. But this is the end of it. So this is one for each side, and I'm out of periwinkle. I'm going to have to order some more. But I'm out of spend on fun money until next month. I need a few buttons. I have 2 purses here now that need buttons. Matter of fact, one of the things I need to do is make a latch for the pink pocketbook. Okay, let's do this in a way that makes sense. Hold on. Oh, I'm so undecided. Green is the perfect color because, you know, color wheel. If you really want to brighten up, make an accent. I don't care. Well, I can't do that now. Because I just remembered what I really need to do. You know what? This is what I get for indulging before. Tomorrow. Okay. Some of the stuff that comes in this gets in my eyes, and it makes me like, I missed your photo shadow. Oh yeah. I think it's a planet. Isn't this the time of year when we see the summer planets starting to come up? I don't know what's in your sky because you're 6,000 miles away. So we definitely get different angles on it. Same moon, but you know. This doesn't help having filthy glasses. Okay, where is my regular? I need to make a little rope, and that I can do while sitting here chatting with you for a minute. I don't think I'll need all of that, but oh, and guess what I found? Cotton balls, 100% cotton. And it's actually something that you can needle needle felt. I wouldn't wet felt it, but you can needle felt it. I love when the moon comes shining through. I'm a moon watcher. I miss having a moon calendar. Otherwise, I suppose I could just get the Jewish calendar, because that's a moon calendar. This is somewhere between a merino and a Corriedale. Very silky. All right, behave yourself. I just saw a grass piece in this. Oh, come on. I found some fun buttons on Etsy, and I thought the prices were very reasonable, but the shipping was more than the buttons. So it was empty the basket. I hate when I have to do that. And then my friend said, look online with Michael's, because you can have it shipped to the store and we can go pick it up. That was even worse. It wasn't the money, it was the, what the hell is this? They had hardly anything that was actually from Michael's, but lots of independent vendors. It's like, so what is it? They're all doing the inventory for you now? In a way that makes sense, you know, you can't carry everything, that's for sure. I was very disappointed though with the buttons. I need the kind that have a shank on the back, not the one that have holes through them. It has to have a little wiggle room so that I can put the rope around it. Ah, there you are, little black hair. Have you seen the YouTube channel Farming While Being Beige? That guy, forgive me, I do not know your name, guy, is so funny and so smart. Also quite buff, but we won't go there. He's married and also too young for me and nowhere near me. But Foxy, and I love smart people. I do. Intellect is a turn on for me. And it's not my fault that stupid people bore me. You should check it out. Farming While Being Beige. He's very well educated. He knows so much about American farms. He corrects influencers left and right. And he does it so, he's just cool. He's just fucking rad. He is, if I was, well, yes, just check him out. He good. He knows his stuff about farming chickens and cows and having an egg business. What it's like to have partnerships and bad partnerships. But mostly I love the way he calls out the bullshit. He does it so well. This should be enough. And I don't have any water at the table because something else is soaking in it. The bowl. My work bowl. One of the pouches I made for a friend. Well, I guess we're going to make this tomorrow. Because I just don't have the energy to get started all over again at the moment. But tomorrow we're going to have fun. And do I need anything in this? No, it just has to be a plain white rope that I can sew into. I'll sew it. It'll probably be the neatest way to do it. Yeah, I thought about making a buttonhole in the lid. It doesn't work for me. After getting all those fibers in place and having to cut a hole in that, I think I'd be making a big mistake. So we're just going to make a little rope to latch around a large button. I have some buttons on the way. I can't remember how many. I think I'm getting 6. I hope so. Quarter moons in pearl white. And they've got the shank back. So that'll work for that purse. And I'm just going to have to go to Michael's and see what else I can find around locally. Sucks that Joanne Fabric is gone. But Michael did take over some of it, and now it's got a sewing corner. And that's where they've got all the stuff that they've got as much as they could fit from Joanne. They have a whole bunch of fabric, I understand. I guess it just depends on which store you go to, because not everyone has a dedicated sewing corner. It's good to know where your materials are when you have to make things yourself. Like, I can't sew. That's what I'm most famous for these days. You can't sew. But I can glue and tape and iron the netting, the webbing that makes it, glue together. And I used to make curtains all the time that way. And I loved going to the store and, like Joanne Fabric, and picking out, when I was out on the farm, our windows were actually very small, except for the master bedroom and the living room. Living room, no window, because we had the big cat thing in front of it. The 3-4-story cat stand took up the whole picture window in the living room. And it was worth it. The bedroom, I had a very fancy, really pretty window treatment. But the bathrooms, I did a wove it myself curtain to match the colors I painted. The trim, which was the same colors as the lichen outside. It's really pretty. And the kitchen and other bathroom and back room, I just picked out fabric and then ironed the fusing tape in between the, for a hem, and voila, made curtains. And half the time I just used thumbtacks because we didn't have a way to put up and make sure they were really secure the curtain rods. It was not a well-built place. But the tacks worked fine and they weren't obvious, so. And I had them in the kitchen. I had different seasons because the fabric itself was cheap. If you had them turned into curtains, it was expensive. But if you just bought the fabric, and it was very inexpensive. A yard and a half, and I had curtains. It's like already just about made for you. So I had my holiday curtains, my summer curtains, the spring curtains. Let's make another one for good measure. Come on. So long. They're just very long fibers. Yeah, well, this will be rolled up anyway, so go ahead. So you have beautiful weather now, or what? Just a little pinch more. Do I have a pinch up here? No, it's white. It's peach. It's gonna make me get up. Almost. Yeah. Oh. Make that fast. Oh, look at that. Oh, they're there. Tweezers. That looks kind of like the kind of thing that you need a vet to remove from dogs' noses. Foxtail. Those things are hell for animals. Now we're gonna maybe a little more here. Do you have a lot of tourist trappy places near you, Maui? I am rich and filthy. I don't think that's the way it works. Unless you're rich in dirt. Well, we have our work cut out for us tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. It's 6:30. I better go and see about making something to eat. Woman does not live on beans and sausages alone. Although I guess one could. It's not balanced. So I will go see if I can spook up some fresh veg. And I look forward to returning tomorrow. Rich and need to bath. Need to take a bath. Oh, okay. Well, go enjoy your bath. TMI. I am rich and I'm already pretty clean, and so is my laundry. Considering what this is made of, it's surprisingly strong. I mean, like any fabric, you put some enough pressure on it and you can pull it apart, but you do have to put some effort into it, which is a good thing, right? But I could use a needle and make this super dense felt, even though right now I'm pulling it apart. I saw feathers, fake feathers being made with this, and I think I can imitate it for working it into wet felting. Oh, Cyrus is asleep. He doesn't wake up when you take a shower? My guys would be pretty calm and sleepy until I left the room, and then suddenly they'd want to know, where'd you go? Even though they could hear exactly where I was. Well, then you should probably take advantage, and I should go before I start another idea that I just had go through my mind when I looked at all those different colors sitting there. It's getting bad. You know, I haven't even written this week. Of course, it's just Sunday. I'm like all about this. It's like, keep on doing it. I got this already floofed out. Oh, you can be a little floofier, I think. That's just an experiment that we're going to make tomorrow to see how the colors come up through each other. And since this got so almost pre-felted just from getting glom together, yeah, I can't wait to see that. All right, darling, I'll see you tomorrow. Miss Kravitz knocks on my door every day now. Of course she's lonely and nosy. You're going to have to put a do not disturb sign on your doorknob. Quiet recording. Quiet working. Gameplay in progress. Only knock in case of fire. They suck you in by bringing you food. Watch out. As soon as they know what your vulnerable parts are, the nosy come. All right, tomorrow we make 2, maybe 3 ropes. Well, this is going to be a patch. It's an experiment with some scrappy stuff. I had to be very clear about that here because, especially when I had the group going, you know, people, when they know that you're helpful and that you're a good person and you want to help, they forget that you have your own life and don't want to be helping constantly. You help when you're called to help, like when you got that weird call. But on a regular basis. So I told them, I said, look, I have PTSD. You can't knock on that door. Here's my number. Text me. Send me a note to say you're going to knock on my door. So I'm ready. Because otherwise it could be a half an hour for my heart to settle back down. And I don't need that. She knows her way into your heart. Your baby. That's sweet. I can needle felt a cat toy. Was it stuff with catnip and a camera? This has a tiny, tiny camera. If it blinks while the lights are out, flush it. Or if you have a garbage disposal. I don't think she's sophisticated enough to spy on you in that way. She's more the ear to the door type. Uh-oh. Does she know your state? Does she know that you're broke? Did you give away information about yourself foolishly? Making yourself too well known in a community? Okay, somewhere around here is my lip stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. She knows too much. She knocks on your door too much. Does she have a regular time? Clock her. See if she's got a habit. So you're not doing anything weird or suspicious when it's her time to knock. It doesn't taste just like it did years ago. They did something. But yep, there's that strong stuff. Yep. When you have a sore throat, this is the best shit you can get. And compared to all the other weird things, it is cheap. And it's natural. Fisherman's Friend. Used to come in a little box, and there were little discs that were kind of like beige Necco wafers. Now they're stamped into a smaller wafer, and they're put in a foil bag, a resealable foil bag. It helps coughing and minor bronchial irritation occurring with the common cold or inhaled irritants. Occasional minor sore throat. It's very mentholy. It's also got capsicum in it, eucalyptus oil, natural licorice, sugar, and tragacanth. I think that helps keep it all together. And it is strong. It's like for tough fishermen. But everybody's medicine chest should have a box of this. Because when you're sick to the point you can't taste things, this is barely going to get through to you. I'm fine right now, so this is like, whew, overkill. It numbs, and it tastes good, and it's got extra sugar or something on it. That's weird. Oh, that must be the coating to protect it. Anyway, when I used to buy these 50 years ago, they were round, like I said, like a Necco wafer. Smaller, and this looks like it's about the same thickness. Of course, I was just sucking on it, but it's a thin wafer, and it's a small wafer, and it is so powerful. It's really like, and now I'm sticky. All right, I really need to go hit the sink. Not saying this the case, but last week I asked for my help because her brother was in the house. Ah. Find someone to sell it to. So she wants the money. And what did she What made her think that you would be able to do that? That makes you a fucking dealer if you said yes. Totally. 100% trap. Why would you be associating with people who do drugs? No, you don't know anybody. Even if you get caught with a joint, you know nobody, right? Because it either ends up with you having to rat on somebody or rat yourself out, and either way it's a bad business deal. Now, here everybody knows I eat gummies, and I keep it that way. That's all I do is gummies and chocolate. My aloha brother. Is that a special signal? Because that sounds suspicious right there, getting too familiar too quickly. But I'm not Hawaiian. Is that normal? Or did a red flag go up for you? So what did you say? Oh, good. Yeah, it sounded like she was trying to get some money while he was away by selling his stash. But she knows too much already about you if she asked you. Like my friend, she's a smoker, including cigarettes. And she said, well, there's lots of people in the building that smoke. And I said, that's nice. I don't want to know who they are. And I don't want anybody to know about me. Just keep my name out of your mouth when the subject comes up. I think she was trying to charm you into bullshit. Aloha, brother. She was trying to sell her brother's stash while he was out of the apartment, is what that's about, not a date. If you think she was flirting with you, she will find more reasons to bump into you. But then you got to watch out because she's watching you and knows when you go out, so she can bump into you. You should watch some of those CIA videos of how they arrange to bump into people and flatter them. Flattery is the number one thing they do, because flattery, everybody loves flattery. And then they arrange to bump into you again, where they can remember you. Oh yeah, you're the guy with the cool truck. Yeah, how you doing? They don't just blatantly say everything the first time, but what she just pulled is like, okay, no, that's not asking for a date. Even if she wants one, no, you need more signs than that. I believe that she was trying to do something shady while he wasn't around. He's in the hospital for a few days. I got a chance to get that shit out of here. Trick you into a date? How do you get tricked into a date? Men do not usually pick up cues from women. Women can, they said the average woman has to do an average of 32 flirtation things before a man realizes she's flirting with him. So maybe in the island, they have to hit you over the head with a coconut and say, let's go out. How do they trick you? Because I certainly can't get tricked into a date. I don't care who it is. If I don't want to go on a date with somebody, I ain't going. So I don't know what you are thinking of as a trick. There could be a breakdown in communication there where you feel like you're being tricked because you don't know how to read women's signals, which, by the way, is common with men. Unfortunately, none of the classes in school teach you about relationships, what to expect from another person, how to get your point across without going overboard. Well, you try to be nice, but if you can't be tricked. You know what they're after. If you feel like someone is trying to get you to take them out, you know how to say no. So I'm sorry, I don't want to risk getting involved with anybody right now. I'm just into my own art, my music, my uke, my games, whatever. You don't have to lie just because you want your own life to be drama-free. You can say, I decided I just need to avoid drama, so I'm not dating. You hear me say that all the time. I love men. I think men are wonderful to a point. I'm just not interested in having a relationship of an intimate nature with a man right now. And I don't really see it in the future because I'm an old lady. And although, yes, I could, I think I'd be out of breath, at this point. So, not interested. And I said, I'm interested in people who have it going on up here. Want some imagination, some intellect, some people who know more than me. I mean, lots of people do, but I'd like to see some evidence of it. I don't want to go out and just talk about the weather. Went out many times. Lisa called me because she said no taxi was available, so she asked to stay at my place till the bus started up. Oh, like in the morning? And that's when you say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't want anybody staying over. You can say no. You have to defend your peace, your happiness, your personal joy. And if you don't want someone staying over, you got to be clear. I like you, but I don't want to get close to anybody right now or ever, whatever you want to say. But you got to be honest right from the start. No illusions, no games, and no saying yes when you mean no. That's the first thing I teach people. That's a nice gentlemanly thing to do. Of course she did. She was trying to get sex. And you had to say, I know there's room, I'm choosing not to use it. Oh, mm-mm. Now, I know that ploy of staying over because you're hoping to get the opportunity. It gives you a chance to find out if the guy's interested in you or not. But if it's clearly a not interest, you don't need to keep asking them to come to bed. One offer is enough. And if they don't come in for the one offer, it means they're not interested. Leave them alone and don't humiliate yourself. If you gotta say it more than once, you're embarrassing yourself. Even if you find somebody attractive and you don't want sex, that is something you have to honor, because it's your body. There's nothing more personal than your body, and sharing that should mean something. I mean, when we're young, we get all this extra energy. We're horny as hell. We're less discriminating. Let's be honest. Um, at least, I mean, I was discriminating up to a point, but I was hormonal and I was young and I was a musician, and yeah, I had fun. But when you realize, what you're sharing, it doesn't become just a one-night stand kind of a thing anymore. It's like, no, I want a relationship. I want to develop a relationship with someone I can talk with, someone I want to actually sleep with and wake up with in the morning and have a breakfast and be able to talk to them over breakfast. That's the kind of relationship I would like. Of course, I had that. I was married twice. At this point, I'm 72. And yes, I know there's lots of women my age who are sexually active and are actually looking for relationships. They want to settle back down with somebody else. And like one of the women here, she's a little bit younger than me. She had 14 fucking children. 14 children. I'm not sure how many husbands or boyfriends, but she had 14 children. No, I'm sorry, no, 11. She had 11 children, that's right. 11 kids. 11, 14, I guess we get past 5, you're starting to call them a tribe. Anyway, she had all these kids, and then she ended up with breast cancer, and all these kids are grown, but they weren't really well raised. She made sure they were fed. She loves cooking for a big crew, and that's her thing. That's what I think made her keep going. But unfortunately, she didn't really take care of them. They grew up with all kinds of mental health problems, drug problems, jail problems, um, young pregnancy problems. You got 11 kids. How much can you be watching them? And, she ended up settling here after recovering from breast cancer and going through all that. And then suddenly she ran into an old guy, her age, I guess, but she used to have a big crush on him when she was younger. Well, suddenly they start reliving the 80s, and he ends up moving in with her, and she dyes her hair, and she's like, doesn't come around with us anymore because she's got a life now. So I've got a life now. I don't have to hang out with you, right? Well, she brought him in. He turned out to be like a chain smoker, alcoholic asshole who flirted with me the first time I met him, and I thought it was her son. But no, and thank God it was like, when I found out it wasn't her son, and it's like, why are you looking at me when you're with this woman? I didn't say that out loud. I went and did my recycling and, phew. Well, she ended up with cancer again, and she's fighting cancer again, and he disappeared. And what do you know? Lisa called and she would like to drop off cat food for Cyrus. Then an hour later she called and said she was at the food counter and asked me to meet her at the food court. She needed to be seen with her in public to give the illusion of dating. Yep, that's a game. Definitely a game. Meeting you at the food court, that's like a date. Food court, sit down, eat together, that's a date. That's a trap, definitely. And that is a problem with communication. Women have to be able to communicate effectively, and men do too. But if you're always thinking it's a trap, you've got to look at yourself. That's your problem, not hers. Any woman who is attracted to you is going to make a play for you. And if you don't want them, you have to be clear about it. And not insulting. We don't have to insult people when we don't want to sleep with them. It's just, you think of anything. I don't want to be involved right now. Like, it hurt to say that to Rich, because I really totally loved that man. But I realized after everything I'd been through, I was just shut down physically. I did not want intimacy. I just wanted a friend that I could count on. And I had to make it clear to him that this is where the buck stops. I'm sorry, I can't go any further. What was, what is. And I just can't do it. I feel like I'm betraying myself if I do anything just to please you, and it's against my feelings. That's not the way I live. I have to be honest with myself, and I can't do things that compromise my inner being or inner, my integrity. So I had to say goodbye. I mean, it was already, we're talking about, 3,000 miles apart. Yeah. So I'm guessing, Maui, that you miss a lot of cues that women have given you until they reach the point where they got to try entrapment. And women have to be clear on what they want. If they just want fun, then they've got to be clear that they want fun and no attachment. If they are looking for a relationship, then they have to be clear on what they really want so they can express that to others. This goes for men and women. It's not a sex thing. It's a human thing. They don't know how to communicate properly and effectively. We don't have to be vicious in saying you're not my type, or I'm not into that right now, and don't take it personally. I think you're lovely. I don't want it. That's all. Yeah, that's a bullshit way to start things, definitely. Now, you're on an island, as you noted, and it's true. Socially, things are set up weird on islands because you've got a closed community, basically. You have to leave the island to get something different. That can be problematic. They're more limited in their options. You need to ask more clever questions of these women so that they have to, instead of just giving an answer off the top of their heads, they have to think about it, just like I do with men. Just like, I'm not interested in the weather. If that's all you want to talk about is the weather or sports, no thank you. I just think, I need some that we're going to have conversations. And that can't start with a game. Now, one of the things you got to watch for is this is just a natural thing for all humans. When we want to be liked, so when we first meet people, we put our best faces on, right? Our social masks, and unfortunately, we get used to working with these masks, and it can take months to drop these masks in front of people we start dating. So that's why we can be dating somebody, and if we're not really astute and honest, we can miss some stuff, and we could be 3 months into dating before we go, no. But better that than 3 months into a marriage and going, oh shit, I made a mistake. You need to date, you need to check things out, you need to decide what it is you're looking for. And everybody has to decide that. What do you want? A one-night stand? Is that good enough for you? Then go for it. You can have sex with somebody and say goodbye that night or the next morning. Yay. That's just like being a kid again. But if you want something that's a little bit more grounded. Well, how old is she compared to you? Oh, there's such a pretty color. I'm glad I got an ounce of that. Oh, she's definitely flirting with you. She's not flirting with the cat. She is trying to get in your face. She's doing something nice. because she doesn't know how else, and this is how a lot of women and men work, Maui. It doesn't mean they're crazy. The problem is it's hard to get to know people in this day and age. Everything is so superficial, and you just try to find something you have in common. All right, you look for the common threads. That's how you make friends. You look for what's in common. That's when people were calling me as a psychic saying, where am I going to meet my new husband or my new girlfriend? It's like, well, what do you like to do? We've had this talk. What do you like to do? Are you waiting for the mailman to fall for you or what? You got to get out. You got to go and do the things that you really love so that you are more likely to bump into people who like the same thing. If you love photography, then join a photography club. You'll meet people into the same shit. That's the whole thing. You're into gardening. You already know you're into gardening. Do you want to share that with somebody? There are gardening clubs, or you can start one where you have a weekly meeting or a monthly meeting and make decisions about the gardens, or trying new things, or have a bulb exchange, plant exchanges once a year, every season. I mean, there's things you can do to attract more people into your circle, at least to get some exposure, and start to find out, what do these people like? What are they about? Do I want to be involved with them at all further than this group? Because there's lots of people in this building I like as casual acquaintances, but only a few that I want to actually spend any time with that I'm aware of. I mean, I haven't met every single person because some of them are very reclusive, even more so than me. Some of them are not around much because they have cars, and when they get up, they're out of here. And so I don't meet them. Yeah. Well, don't get nervous. Just be clear on where you stand in terms of what you're looking for. Which means you're going to have some kind of a conversation with her where you find an opening to express how you feel about the future for yourself and your cat. And it has to be that it doesn't include a woman, because you're so happy being alone. You're going to have to show where you stand in a polite way, not by accusing them of wanting something from you, because that's just rude and presumptive. She may really just want to be around your cat more because she misses having a cat. I don't know. Or maybe she's a cat lover and she knows you have a cat. It's a neighborly thing. I used to do stuff like that all the time without looking for anything else. If I made something and I had extra, well, we do that here. If we cook extra, we find out who needs some food or wants some food, and we share it. You have to be clear on who you are and what you're looking for, what you want. That way, nobody is expecting more, and you will have fewer crazy calls if they realize that you're not out there looking for a date. We not interested in dating. You can find another way of I tried dating, but you've got to think of ways to bring things up. Just ask in your morning prayers for the inspiration of what words. I just ask God, put the words in my mouth and I will spit them out. So just ask God to inspire you on how to deal with this particular person. Because she's not evil. She's just a nosy busybody because she's got no life going on otherwise, apparently. So, well, she made a cat toy for you, for Cyrus. But yes, that's to get your attention. And that is something you have to be clear about. Right now, you're the only thing that you want that makes you happy is the garden. And you've had your fill of neurotic people, and so you'd like being a recluse at this point in your life. And you don't have to say excuses, you don't have to say why, because everybody goes through phases of being reclusive at some point. So no explanations, that's bullshit. It's just what you are. You are at the moment. This is who you are. This is where you're at. It may change, but only time will tell. At the moment, this is what you want out of life. You want peace and quiet and the garden and not a girlfriend. So you have to get that message across in little ways, because it takes a little while for hints to go, so you can't be too oblique. I mean, you have to make sure they understand. At the same time, you show your gratitude for the fact that some stranger basically was thinking kindly of you and your cat, which is a very nice, it's a nice thing. It may not be something you want right now, but it is a nice thing. Those fibers might be too long, but I grew up seeing myself as a very homely girl. Even when I was out on stage, basically my entire life, I have just seen myself as a plain Jane. So when people would say things about what I looked like in a complimentary way, my immediate thought was, you're full of shit. I know I'm plain. You don't have to tell me I'm beautiful, because I know I'm not. So it was really hard to learn to take compliments, because, like I said, I saw myself as a plain Jane. And your impressions of yourself, as you know, are really hard to get over. You went and proved to yourself that there are women out there who think you're really good looking. So you shouldn't be surprised when someone makes a pass at you. You are a good looking man. I can accept compliments now. Matter of fact, when I came on and you had the stories about what happened to you, because you had a very eventful day, I had gone out shopping, and I have to say I was delighted because two complete strangers came up to me and said, "You are beautiful." They were admiring my outfit. It was all colorful and happy. And that people went out of their way to tell me how beautiful I was really nice, even though I still look in the mirror and go, well, I like my outfit. My outfit's very happy, and I'm glad it's getting appreciated. But that did not make me see myself as beautiful. Yes, you must. Our self-talk is teaching us what we are and what we're going to be. It's like when it's all perspective, Maui, right? When you went into that Korean grocery store and those women were talking about how tall you were and they were giggling over you because they really thought you were a beautiful man. But you went in there thinking of yourself as quite the opposite, if I recall correctly. And then they needed your help getting stuff down from the shelves. I think it's all perspective. Your brain, your subconscious mind, will believe anything you tell it, good and bad. So when you hear yourself talking to yourself and you're putting yourself down or reducing yourself to an equation, basically, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're programming yourself for the worst instead of better. I have been determined to help counter the programming of feeling like an ugly duckling child by listening not to anything telling me I'm beautiful, but listening to more motivational, like the stuff I send you. It's good for the spirit. It lifts you up. It reminds you to stay on track, reminds you what is important in your focus. So I work with that every single day. I go to sleep with those positive thoughts. I get up, the first thing I'm looking for are the positive thoughts. And I really train myself now, don't go to the news first thing. Okay? 5'9" is still better than it's taller than the average. My dad was 5'10". I thought he was a giant. Because ultimately, Maui, we judge people by who they are and what they do, how they treat us. That's how we judge them. We don't think about their color. I mean, there are people who do, but we get past that. We look at the real person. Are they kind to us? Do they compliment us? Are they peaceful around us? You know, do we feel peaceful around them? We know how people make us feel, but they will not remember 10 years from now exactly what you look like. They're going to remember how you treated them. And that's what counts in this world. Our bodies are superficial and brief. Our inner spirit, that which motivates and moves us, is liquid rainbow light. It doesn't have a shape and solidness like this does. We don't have hands when we let go of the body. So we're so much bigger than what we see in the mirror. So we have to stop judging ourselves so harshly, or really we're just judging ourselves by other people's standards instead of just accepting ourselves, because we're born loving ourselves. We're born beautiful. We're born smart. When we're born, we come to this world believing wonderful things about us until the moment other people say otherwise. Until someone else points out, oh, you know, you're skinnier than you should be, or your eyes aren't the right shade, or you don't look like you're a member of this family, or how many fathers did that family have? You know, I mean, there's always some kind of thing in the background that someone's taking away from your self-esteem and giving you these misunderstandings about who you're supposed to be. Like women growing up thinking they're supposed to look like Barbie dolls. Which I love that movie because it was so true about how women are treated and what is expected of women. But it also showed the value of being alive and real as a woman, and embracing every aspect of it. Even the stuff that women these days have come to look at as like, ugh, gotta go through that again. She just embraced being alive. So, a lot of good lessons in that movie. It's no wonder the far right hates it. All right, time to eat. I'll be back tomorrow and we will turn these into things. This is going to be a leaf, I think. These are going to be ropes. This is going to be an experiment. And all we need is soap and water. So thanks for hanging out with me, Maui. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great night. Aloha. Yes, I'm sure. End stream. Are you sure you want to quit?